So I mean, typically who wants to kind of kick off? I feel like I'm, still getting the hang of this part. So,
Okay. I mean, normally what we do is, when there's somebody in town, a proprietor, a business owner, they have some things that they want to share with us or some concerns, or we just, chat for a little bit about what's happening or what's upcoming in Irvington.
yeah.
Aside from Nicole, I don't think there's any other business owner on the call, but normally we have at least a handful.
Yeah, Donna Powers, she's joining. She's actually going to be a new member of the River Towns Chamber, but joined this morning because her business is in Irvington. We just weren't entirely sure when the next Irvington meeting was going to be, so I figured she could jump on as a potential new member.
Of
What's her
course.
Morning.
what's her business?
I'm sorry.
What's her
I'm with Light Mirror in Irvington. I mean, I'm 50 South Buckout.
Oh, great.
Donna.
Welcome.
Hi. Thank you.
So Stacey, since I guess we are a smaller group, it I guess lends us to have a little bit more ability to dive into, I guess, some of the agenda points that I kind of quickly put together, naturally, like the introductions being one of them. And I think as these meetings kind of grow, and I'm also learning, maybe pushing this out in time or finding a time in October might be a little bit more beneficial with attendees. But discussing upcoming chamber events, Dina, thank you for quickly recapping. I caught the end of it because I had jumped off. But something to point out is there's a lot of great things happening in Q4. I, as a business owner and being on the inside, I know of them, but I'd be anxious to see them get listed on the website. I think for those that should want to join or looking into joining, it's not quite clear for them of what is ahead. I don't see them in regards, on the website as events coming up. So I think that's like kind of a hot topic. And those that specifically Irvington can participate in, how they would participate in. Because I think being transparent, Irvington is, last night hearing all the new members from Dobbs Ferry, I was jealous. Like, it's pretty awesome how many new members from Dobbs are joining the chambers. And I really think Irvington needs to get on the same bandwagon and kind of figure out like maybe why they're not. But in being in the mix and kind of hearing, they're like, well, why should I join? It's like the number one question. And I don't think it's clear to those residents in Irvington.
Are you referring, Nicole, to the like the trolley events and
yes,
the goal?
Yes.
They are listed on the website though. So
Under events?
yeah, under events.
And
so
here I see River Towns Chamber Golf, Hastings Village. I see Village Chats. What am I doing wrong?
Oh, okay. I think they've made the golf its own tab up top, its own flag, because it's such a big event and we wanted to really highlight it. There's only so much. If you go to events, under chamber events, everything is listed. Now, to your point, maybe that's too murky. Maybe we need to address that.
Yeah, the trolley. I don't see the trolley or anything listed, or like shop local, like.
Yeah, so they're not there yet, which is definitely something we want to make sure happens. Obviously, we announced them all last night, and we want to make sure it's reflected on the website. I think Jennifer might be working on that this week. We can triple check. But yes, I mean, it's a fair call out. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I think there should be like a little calendar of events, even just on the homepage, just to kind of like capture some of that traffic, and also just kind of highlight it a little bit more up front, like this is the River Towns Chamber of Commerce. These are the things we have going on. And then you can click over to events pages to see more details. But yes, I think that's totally fair. It just, we do have a lot going on. So we need to kind of like,
Yeah, and I think those are the events that really draw the community, or, selfishly for the business owners, makes them want to join, because that's where they get the exposure. And I think for right now, the last couple of months, naturally with the summer, and there's obviously change with, I think, the change and maybe understanding who's on the board is also something else. I think speaking to some of the members would really love to know, like, who's president, like who's doing what, who's doing this. Some of the feedback is like, well, who's running it? Like, so I think it's really exciting how the new board is, I think everyone involved and those that have even volunteered, and there being competition. Speaking for some of the business owners in Irvington would also be kind of a little bit of persuasion, like fresh blood, and it's growing, So that was just another point. I think chamber upcoming events is a big
Yeah.
focus.
It could be that we didn't put it on because they hadn't announced the dates and we
Mm.
haven't started selling tickets, but to, you know, we could still put a placeholder on the calendar or even on the website, even if we haven't started selling tickets. So that would work. So we'll
Yeah.
make a note of that and speak to Jennifer, Danielle.
Yeah, definitely. I just wrote that down. I think, yeah, in as many places as possible that we can just kind of highlight, you know, what we have going on, because it does take so much work and so much time. We wouldn't want it to be, you know, a last minute announcement, especially. I had a couple people last night being like, oh, where are all these things listed? I was like, they're going to be on the website. You know, we're not selling tickets yet, but we're going to have sponsorship availabilities and, you know, opportunities and all that jazz. So yes, we can definitely highlight it in more than just, you know, one place. We don't want to bury the lead by having it, you know, too far down a landing page or something like that. So we could definitely work on that piece of it. And then, yes, you know, something that I agree with you in terms of, you know, we do have new board members. And I think we took some photos yesterday to just kind of like show our faces for those who couldn't make it to the meeting yesterday, post on social media so that, you know, we could kind of familiarize and just kind of make the announcement all in one night. And so that's going to go out on the social media, on Instagram. I think they've already updated the website with the new board members and everyone's titles. So that's great. But either way, like announcing and showing face as much as possible at these events and just kind of like introducing ourselves as frequently as possible, I think is important. So definitely want to make sure like I'm doing that. I'm sure the rest of the board is open to doing that as well. So yeah, those are like the main things I could think of in terms of like showing face as much as possible, honestly, now that we're all new and ready to go.
Question in regards to updating the website for like who's on the board, where can I find that?
It's in the about tab.
Okay, who we are. Gotcha.
Right, who we are, and then you scroll down just a little bit and you'll see the board of directors is listed there. We could throw some photos up there. I don't know if that would be more jazzy, you know, just to get people feel more connected, you know. Good.
Yeah, we can have like
an intro. I think
like
that
a
would
team page or something like that, if that's something we can throw in there. I know, I mean, just generally speaking, a lot of just businesses do that, just, you know, about the team, and then it's just everyone's image, a little blurb. We can talk to Jennifer about that as well, if everyone's open to sharing a photo on the website. Yeah,
as long as it's my good side, I'm fine.
Same. Okay, great.
And then taking some ownership, as I am a village rep, and, you know, I did invite a handful of people, and disappointed, you know, whether I didn't really receive feedback, although I thought a few would join. So I apologize on that. But in Danielle, I was kind of mentioning to you, I think the next step of something that I would like to take on is maybe you and I can coordinate, and whoever else from like the board can join, and we select a morning or two, and it's something more home base in Irvington, and we organize like a coffee.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll have a stronger attendees and willingness for some of the members to want to just pop in their town, just kind of have a chat and a meet and greet, to create the community. I mean, last night I get to attend these events and I think they're so much fun. I get to see my friends, and I get to hear about the upcoming events, but it's somehow not, I think, sprinkling into my town as much. So maybe we start with smaller in the village, quick coffee, to kind of get them more involved.
We used to do these village chats. We used to try and do them in each village personally, and that's always, I agree with you, Nicole. I think it's a better networking opportunity and a better chance for people to get to really know each other. The struggle was trying to find a time when certain businesses could and couldn't attend, and of course COVID threw everything out the window. But so I try it again. You know, that might be, because the whole point of this is to get folks to come in and, you know, speak with the people in the village. And
I'm definitely open to just kind of like doing that even as soon as in the next couple of weeks. I know that we had this meeting, and you know, the turnout you know, is difficult. The timing is difficult. September is difficult. I think, you know, also in person, you know, for people who may not have their computer at work, right? Like there are a lot of shops that don't necessarily have their laptop up all the time. So having just some of those people meet on, you know, just outside of one of our chamber businesses for a coffee, or just popping in and be like, hey, we're meeting down the street, you know, stop by for a couple of minutes, I think is a little bit easier. and maybe a little bit more approachable, then okay, I have to like figure out Zoom and like I'm not even gonna deal with that. I don't bring my computer to work. Like I get it. So let's definitely make it more accessible for people who may not operate in this normal way of working for a lot of us that do things digitally. So definitely open to planning that, Nicole, whenever works for you. Like you said, October would be great.
Yeah, we'll connect, I guess, offline and kind of find some deals. I'm open to hosting it too. I can bring like a box of coffee at Felina and
Well,
but
is there any front for anybody in town that's part of the chamber that would host it? Red Barn, Black Cat, Bazaar, like any of those businesses, the cafe over. You know what I mean? Like if we're going to do this, let's get the businesses involved. And I work up in Chappaqua. We do this all the time. Like have the business be the host, and that way we give light to the business, and then there's a destination for everybody.
I think we can definitely ask if anyone like a cafe would like to raise their hand. I think having it on Main Street would be great, just for like a central meeting point. So if it's like too far, I don't want people to have to like whatever. But yes, we could definitely see which businesses. And Nicole, since you threw that out there, happy to just kind of meet outside and grab coffee, like you said. And but yes, I think definitely meeting at a chamber business is priority. And if it happens to be a cafe, I think that's great as well. And we could chat about the date and timing. I don't know if mornings work best for everyone prior to opening up shop or whatever it is, but we'll chat offline about the details of it.
There's a new pop-up coffee bagel store. Opens up at 6:30 in the morning. So that might be somebody to not only approach for being a part of the chamber, but a new business in town.
Where is that?
Yeah, where is that?
It's where the old Wolf Roost used to be. So I just saw it this morning. It's right on Main Street. It's across from the school.
Oh, Good Family Feeling?
Maybe but it's a pop-up bagel coffee.
Huh.
Wow. I don't even know. I got to go check that out today.
Yeah, same.
It's a big window. I think October 3rd they're opening.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, nice. Yes. So I think Dina, for you and sorry, just you and I, like we can chat about, updating websites and things like that with Jennifer and all that jazz.
Definitely. And also think about how we can reach the businesses. I know we post on social media, we send out email blasts.
Mm-hmm.
What else we can do to reach the businesses and make sure they're informed that these chats are happening. So that's the other thing that I think we should talk about, make sure that everyone is informed. I don't know if everyone's looking at Instagram or even looking at our emails. Sometimes it goes out into the ether.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, I'm happy to go door knocking, honestly, and just let people know.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. And then I know, and Larry too, if you have any ideas like specifically about reaching village members, that's great too. I feel like even just telling like people that live in the community that there's a chamber of commerce like would just be nice.
Right. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, we have our own mailing list. Obviously, it's not just businesses, but we're happy if you have a message to put out. We're happy to help.
Great.
That would be great. Yes, we should.
Yeah.
I mean, we have our MailChimp account and we have everything all set up. We can just, send you the information, the next announcement, and if you could share that, it would be really.
And I'm on your mailing list, so if you just highlight, a particular one that you want, kind of rebroadcast specifically here in Irvington, I'm happy to do that.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, not a problem.
I'll talk to Regina about that. Great. Anything else happening new?
Sorry, say that again, Dina. I've cut you off.
Anything else happening? Anything new in the village that we know?
New in the village. Across from Felina, there is a new wine and spirits store that's going to be opening up pretty soon. I saw yesterday she has her awnings put up, so that'll be a new business to join the area. And then we were talking a little bit last night about the announcement from Bazaar closing. So I guess my question is if they were a hub for any of the trolley events, and maybe it's just premature in like the planning, but how that kind of affects
the
town and where they'll stop, etc.
Yeah, we chatted about that briefly yesterday. Right now, the holiday trolley is making a stop at Bazaar, just because it's at the bottom of Main Street. We have one happening at the, towards the top of Main Street. So we definitely want to adjust that. That would not look great. So we will, granted, I don't know exactly when she's closing her doors, but it doesn't matter. I think either way, we would want to probably adjust that. I'm not quite sure if we want to do something just halfway down Main Street and what businesses are participating this year. I have to get the full rundown. I think we're still working on that list. But if there's some businesses like halfway down Main Street that we just want to make as a stop, as the second stop, I think right now the first stop is at the Main Street School, or maybe even just before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was last year, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone said that they try to have all the trolley stops where there are bus stops. Did I misunderstand that? Or is that correct? I'll check with Michelle. She has the routes pretty much written on the back of her hand. So but that's what I heard. I don't know if we're restricted to that or if it's just, something for convenience that, folks.
You mean bus stops like the Beeline bus stops?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing on Main Street here. The only stops we have are on Broadway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could be Douglas Ferry that was talking about that.
Yeah.
Main Street School is a reasonable
Mm-hmm.
location just because there's physically room. Some of the other areas are a little more congested, but like picking something in the middle of halfway down Main Street is going to be a little bit difficult figuring out what that location is. I mean, we can block off spaces, of course. We just have to coordinate that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and of course we wouldn't want to leave people in a place where there aren't businesses participating or it's mostly residential.
Right.
So yeah.
No, halfway down will work. It's just got to, once you decide on where it is, let us know and we'll work with the PD to block off spaces so the bus has a place to stop and because you can't. I mean, how Main Street's set up. It's all angled parking basically. So
yeah, no problem. Yeah, we're gonna regroup on that. That announcement from Bazaar just came out, I think yesterday morning or the night before. So we will get on top of that. And also on the note of trolleys, we're doing the Halloween trolley this year. It's not making multiple stops. It's just you hop on and you're on for an hour. And then it's doing 3 rounds. 1 is kid friendly and then 2 are BYOB for adults. So, we haven't quite figured out where the pickup point will be, but something maybe to consider for Irvington potentially if we want to again bring more community and traffic to the area. So that's something to consider. I think we're still trying to figure out the details of that, but just wanted to throw that out there as something to consider.
Okay. What's the date on that, or you don't know yet?
October. Hold on, I have it. Too many dates. Where's my sheet? October. I know it's a Wednesday.
Yeah. I think it's the 18th.
Yes, it is. It's the 18th. So that's our first trolley event for the Halloween. Mm-hmm. And then November 4th, I think, is our Taste Local. Mm-hmm. December
2nd or something.
Yeah. December 2nd.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
So our inaugural Halloween trolley will be October. And there will be entertainment for the second. Well, there'll be entertainment for the children's section as well, which they're working on right now. But they've already hired. Danielle, I think you know the gentleman who's been hired.
Yeah, Jonathan Kruk. He does the Old Dutch Church Sleepy Hollow performances during the Halloween season, and so he's going to be joining us for both of the adult rounds. And then for kids, we're still trying to figure it out, but he's apparently really great. He gets a lot of press just doing his, he's had basically a residency in Sleepy Hollow at the Old Dutch Church for a bunch of years. So and people really enjoy it. So we're definitely gonna blow that out in terms of, announcement based things if people can't.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And then Larry, this is a little more directed towards you since I am fairly new to Irvington. In regards to event specifics in the town, there is a concert coming up in October, correct, down at the park?
Yes, the theater, I think the theater is running something.
Oh.
I'm not oh, I'm sorry. So no, wait. So there's a couple things. So September 30th is Rocktoberfest. So that's a a music event, basically a good part of the day, like 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. Other than spurious traffic in town, it's not particularly helpful to local businesses, but it brings people into town. But there's going to be food truck. It's pretty self-contained. It's in Matheson Park. Not that local food trucks won't be participating or local businesses won't be participating, but it doesn't direct traffic specifically onto Main Street. You know what I mean? So that it's a little challenging there. But that's September 30th. And then I know our theater is running an outdoor movie coming up soon. I forgot the date, but that's just not a particularly large event.
October.
Sorry, Stacey, I think you cut out a little bit.
Oh, sorry. It's October 6th at the Main Street School.
Great. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, these should definitely be things I feel like we should let people know about, especially in the chamber. I mean, and especially if some of our chamber members are participating in Rocktoberfest, if any of their food stands are popping up or whatever it is, I definitely want to make sure that the calendar is a two-way street. Like we're hosting things, but our businesses are also participating in events in towns that we support. So that would be crucial to have that list of businesses that are are vending at these places, at these things.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Yeah,
and we will send out an announcement through the chamber anyway. We always do when there's something happening in any of the villages. It goes out with our newsletter, and we used to do 2 a month. We stopped in the summer when it was slow. We're just doing the one, but now we'll pick that up again and keep it going a little bit more often, and post on social media, of course.
So Dina, is something like the Rocktoberfest that's on the chamber's radar is like, maybe it's a notorious question, or I know I'm new, but like if there isn't the communication or there is a gap, like how can I jump in to kind of bridge that gap? I think the same applies to some of my neighbors on Main Street aren't aware of Ferry Festa, which for Dobbs Ferry, they kill it. I mean, it's a pretty awesome event last year, unfortunately, with the rain, but I'm very excited. And some of my Irvington members are not so aware of it. And so is there a way to make sure that you are aware of all the upcoming events in Irvington? Like, can I help in any way to bridge that gap?
The way we handle that is we are signed up for all the newsletters and anything that we can sign up for out there from all the villages. We get it funneled into the info at Rivertown's Chamber email account. Regina and Alan then go in and take anything that comes, that's coming up, and they compose it and throw it out in our newsletter. I know with Ferry Festa, we're sending out a specific newsletter. Patty asked us to do that because I think registration was a little bit on the low side, but we would have done so anyway. It's just communicating, like you said, Nicole. I mean, if we miss something, but you're aware of something, you can always let me or Regina or Leslie know, or just go in and put it on the calendar, because that calendar that we have is interactive. We have the events calendar on the website where all members are free to go and post anything that's upcoming. But yeah, it's just to put it in as many places as possible. The presumption or the hope is that we are getting these letters from the villages. I know I see them all the time from Irvington, from Ardsley, from Dobbs Ferry, and then we flip it over to our own channels so we can just spread the information to as many folks as possible.
Yeah, you just also said something that's really important too, and something I should leverage in the communication is the ability, if you're a member, to submit an event. I think that's powerful. So it
is, and I do it. There's also where I go and post is there's a website called Historical Hudson River Towns that covers both sides of the river, and they have us, specifically by village. And I just go in there, and anytime we have events, I just post it in there as well, because they have the same thing like we do, where you can go and post your event. They review it, takes them about 24 hours to accept it, and then they post it out there.
I think too, Nicole, now that you're kind of mentioning this, like using these meetings, and hopefully we'll get more businesses involved in some of these in-person coffee chats, and definitely, I mean, we have all the people in the room that are helping to plan these events and participating in these events. Like, let's just utilize this time too to just make sure we're all up on the same things. And I think like now, as we're saying, moving forward, we're going to be a little bit more on top of it. So we should definitely make sure, coming out of this meeting, like I will definitely make sure that we're connecting with the wider board to just be like, okay, Rocktoberfest is coming up and the movie is happening on October 6th. And let's just like make sure that's also included, because personally, like I didn't even know the date. So, and that's just because, so many things get thrown around emails. So yeah, let's just make sure we're all hearing the same things.
That's why I think these chats are really important, because things come up in conversation that you just miss.
Yeah.
And I, newsletters going out too often also, because then people just, another one, so you want to strike that right balance where you're not inundating somebody's email box with their inbox with too much, where you end up getting ignored.
Yes, and it's coming to like the tail end, but I quickly just hopped on or was invited to the Bulldog Committee. I'm sure everyone's seen the really cute artists, decorated bulldogs in front of some of the businesses in the town of Irvington. So again, I had my first call. They just invited me in, and I would love to see if, this continues and moves forward and they do it again, how to also spread the word within the river chambers. I believe they're going to be, I think if not, they're already auctioning them off. And I believe they'll have a space during Rocktoberfest and they'll get to showcase them. So, something that did happen, and the team put a lot of effort in organizing in the town of Irvington. And it's a really sweet message, even if it's like a walk for those in other villages or, up in Croton that want to pop by Irvington, especially now with the fall, to kind of check them out. So I know that they've done a good job on social and Facebook, promoting what it is, but, maybe there was always room to grow of really messaging the mission of these dogs, like the give back, the artists, etc.
I just wanted to mention, so Light Mirror has been in Irvington for 15 years, believe it or not. And I didn't know about the bulldog sculpture. I don't know about a lot of things, so that's why I'm excited about joining the chamber. And I know that we'd be happy to participate and donate and do whatever we can to help, bring Irvington, to life. I mean, not that it isn't, but you know what I mean? We'll do whatever we can, in our part to try to participate with events and donate mirrors or hold auctions or whatever it is. I mean, it's limited. We make mirrors and that's all we do, but still, like I went through the school district, my 3 kids went through the school district, and we have our business in Irvington. So I'm committed. I just didn't know about so many things. So I also didn't know Bazaar was closing, which is so unfortunate. But yeah, anyway, I'm just saying I'm happy I'm looking forward to working with everybody and joining. So that's my 2 cents.
We're happy to have you, Donna.
Yeah, I think a lot of businesses likely feel in that similar spot, especially if you're not specifically on Main Street. I think that you might maybe people aren't walking over that way as much, and so they wouldn't think to reach out to be like, hey, do you want to decorate a bulldog? I'm not quite sure how that communication went in terms of like offering or throwing your hat in the ring for that, but that's definitely something that, like, when those things do pop up and someone is spearheading something like that in the community and it could benefit our chamber members, I think for sure we should also disseminate that around in our newsletter. Or whatever information. But who was it, a community member or was it a group, or who was spearheading the dog situation?
It was Christina from XO Art.
Okay.
Yep.
And they came to the board just, to get support from the community, and our board was supportive of it. We ended up, because they weren't organized enough to have, an entity that would pay the bills and take in the money, and, they didn't have a nonprofit set up. So we kind of inserted ourselves in the middle of all that. So we were taking in the money on their behalf and paying the bills to have the sculptures made and the mold made and all that. When the auction money comes in, it's going to be split 50-50 with the artist of the particular ones that are auctioned off. So, we're kind of helping facilitate it all, and we did publicize it to the extent that we can through our channels, but in the beginning. But I know they've had a bigger presence on social media for sure.
When are they auctioning off? Do you know?
The live auction is being run right now online. I think they're actually talking about doing an event in early November, and it might actually coincide with your trolley event.
Oh, yay. I pitched the 4th. That's off. That's great.
Yeah, so I have to see. I'm not the particular person that's been dealing with them directly. One of our trustees, Arlene Burgos, has been dealing much more with them. So, I'll make sure that there's coordination after this to make sure everyone's connected.
Okay, great. That'd be great. Okay. So I think anything else? I think we're at the half-hour mark, but I'm glad to stay on if anything else.
Thank you for this.
Thank you, Stacy. Okay.
Thank you. Like I said, I'm excited. I think there's a lot of potential in the town. Danielle, we could sidebar on picking a date to maybe organize some in-person meetups.
Yeah.
But I think just even chatting about some of these upcoming events and what's happening in Irvington specifically, there's a lot on the calendar. So as a business owner on Main Street, I'm very grateful. And I look forward to building community from here.
Yeah, same here. Really looking forward to now that, being in this present position to like dive into all of the different things. I know Irvington, and Nicole, Stacy, everybody's trying so hard to, rally everybody. And I'm excited that we have Donna now joining and like Mira joining. And I think some new businesses last night, some non-members were mentioning that they'd like to join the chamber. So really excited to like blow this out of the water. So, yeah, we'll chat and we'll keep everyone posted.
Yes.
Thank you. Everybody have a
good day.
You too.
Great
Bye.
day.
Bye.
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 Bye.